everyone. I'm Robyn Zimmerman, and this is Talk of the Town. Steve Gaito has joined us in person.
Yes, it's good to be back.
It's good to have him with us. You've kind of been following Steve. He had several stents put in. When was that?
About a month, a little over a month ago.
So he's fresh into his PT, which I think continues for another month.
Yeah.
But you're here, you're doing well. But that was very scary.
It was scary. I feel good, though.
Well, it's great to see you in person. And today we're actually talking about long-term care, a new Genworth study.
Yeah.
You want to kind of jump into some of the numbers for long-term care.
I've got them here on my phone.
Okay.
And basically you have three different types. You have in-home care, you have community-assisted care, and then you have the nursing home or skilled care.
Skilled nursing, yeah.
Which is the most expensive one on the surface. But the numbers for in-home care, for homemaker services, $68,640. These are national 2023 averages. Home health aid, having someone come in, $75,000. In an assisted living, about $24,000 to $64,000, depending on the facility you're in. When you get to the 64, those are usually your memory care units, the ones that are Alzheimer's and dementia, because they have to have so much more security and everything, and more care involved in that. And then the semi-private, I just remember it had gone over 100. Well, now it's between $104,000 and $116,000 a year.
For skilled nursing.
Yeah.
And on the home care, you're talking like 40 hours a week. You're not talking 24/7, having somebody actually be there to take care of you if you need that 24/7 care, which you would have in a skilled nursing, right?
Yeah, and that's the danger of a survey like this, is that someone says, 68,000, I can probably cover that, but that's about half. And so if you want home health care, you need to really understand what it's going to provide, and how much is your spouse going to pick up, and covering at nighttime and things like that. When my dad had to have some in-home care, they came in for 8 hours a day.
Right.
Well, 8 times 7 adds up real quick, and but that was a necessary respite for my mom to be able to have some sanity.
So long-term care insurance, there's just a lot. It's expensive.
It's expensive, and it's changed a lot. You used to have just one type of long-term care, and it's very similar to your homeowner's insurance. It was a use it or lose it policy, and so people would put this money in and hope that. That's really a bad thing. Either you use it, which means you have a long-term care event, or you lose it because you didn't. And so new policies that are on the forefront, there are annuities that provide some extra benefits for long-term care, some life insurance policies, and then they have these hybrid policies that are a combination of life insurance and long-term care, and they provide a lot of benefit.
But don't some people just say, well, I'll just use my my retirement savings. I don't need the insurance. I don't need really to even worry about that right now, because that's so far away. So, but that's back to you being a planner, a certified financial planner. It's critical, because that far off, that 10 years could be 5 years or whatever. You've got to plan.
Yeah, and that's where these new hybrid policies really come in real handy. One of my most affluent clients, he came to me and said, Steve, I need to talk to you about long-term care. I've always thought I was going to self-fund it. He said, but you sent out an email talking about these hybrid policies. And I'm like, why wouldn't I do that?
Right.
And the reason for that is he was expecting he'd set aside about $300,000 to cover for long-term care. And for about $200,000, he could have a hybrid policy that will cover him for life. So not only have you dealt with the long-term care, but you've dealt with the longevity of an event to the maximum outcome.
So this is a very important topic, and that's why you need someone like you as an advisor to walk you through the different options.
Yeah.
When you say, Steve?
I often say you can't have a retirement plan unless you have a plan for dealing with long-term care, because if you don't do it, you're going to jeopardize the second to die in the family.
A lot of people, I think, say they want to just stay in their home. So that home care piece is critical. And again, home care doesn't necessarily mean medical care.
That's right.
Because when my brother was sick with ALS, we had home care, but then we had a nurse come in, and that was separate. So just a lot of questions, very complicated, and people like Steve Gaito can walk you through it.
It's a challenge, but there are lots of options now to be able to solve that problem.
Okay, thank you, Steve Gaito, certified financial planner and our friend here at WHHI-TV.